It is not music coming from the heavens. It is music comes from the inner archetypal subconscious mind called a mentor. Amen, land of Amen, the hidden land. Muses are these same microscopic organisms called melanin. Now we'll document this because he said the scales come out of Egypt, but he don't have enough scholarship to understand. You ask him, can you explain to me how it came out of Egypt? He couldn't tell you. You see, he probably one of the few people that mentions it is Ra Nefer Amen. That's where a lot of people get it from. But and a few other scholars and stuff, but they don't know. If you ask him, well, give me the origin of how it came out of Egypt, or Hemmitt, he couldn't do that. I can. That's how I know that this is some bullshit, because I can make the link and I can state the case based on the research. Now, we've traced the origins of music back to the priesthood of On, the Hermetic school. And Hermes is the Greek god Tahuti, the Greek form of Tahuti, and Tahuti is the god of magic and knowledge. In so many words, melanin comes out of the school of alchemy, because also the priesthood of Tahuti was the study of alchemy, because the study of alchemy is under the study of Hermetic sciences. So the Hermetic sciences is where the origin of music comes from, and the word muse later on, the Greek version of that, which could very well be Camite version, is talking about Hermetic sciences, and in so many words, it is melanin put to scale. You see? And it comes from the Hermetic science. We'll document on his ass Hermetic Gnosticism and Hermeticism, State University of New York, 1997. We even have documentation on this shit. Now, music is an inner surface of coming from the melanin, and it is a medicine. That means when you go to a low point, this human microscopic organism creates a medicine to heal you when you are at your lowest point. And that medicine is whatever music you create to heal yourself. So the most powerful music is not the one you create when you are not in tragedy. It is the one you create when you're at your lowest point, because that's the one you got to use to lift your ass up. So jazz, funk, blues is higher than the classical shit. You see what I'm saying? Of the Europeans. But even Beethoven was not in no doggone funk. Like no Muddy Waters, goddammit. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference. That's why they studied us, and they studied us especially in the 70s when they was putting scunion on our behinds, in the 60s and the 70s, and we tend to come back to work healed on Monday morning. All because we was living for the weekend, and we was healing ourselves through our doggone tunes. Why? Because we had an album, which is an original recording, which grooves in it. I talked about this before. But you also, which is cooked down to because most rubber, most plastics and stuff is white. To get that blackness on it, you got to cook it down to the most carbon form, because it's not dyed. They cook it down. You see what I'm saying? That plastic there is cooked down. That's not a dyed plastic. They cook that plastic down from a white liquid, because it's clear. They cook it down, and that when you cook something down, you make the most carbon element in it. That's what ash is. You see ash in the Bible and all these things that text, that's melanin. That's carbon. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. So they cook this, the black plastic disc down, but it has a recording on it, which is actually, you can feel the grooves. Then you have a needle, which is a diamond. And a diamond is what? Pressurized carbon. And from that, black people was healing themselves. From them 45s. You see, in them albums. You see what I'm saying? And as a result, they had to get rid of that and put a hologram, which is laser. It's a hologram, it's an illusion. But the melanin was responding to our music. We couldn't get it live, we could still get it either way. But it was the music which was the main medicine for black people. We always had good music up until lately. That's why rap is not a healing form. That's why Puff Daddy and them make them $100 million. They're producing something that's not a healing form. And we now have produced children here who have never heard real music. You see? Just a few. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, they found a way to shut down the doggone melanin. You see what I'm saying? I'll keep it dormant because it is these tunes that the pituitary gland responds to produce the amount of melanin for the body. The pituitary gland regulates the melanin. And based on the highs and lows of the bass and the treble, in a unified form, they produce whatever type of melanin you need. A certain melanin for at night, the nocturnal level of slow music, and a certain one for the high, when you want to get on up. So they recognize this, but it is the muses and the drum. Because the drum, it is not the beat. It is the spaces in between the beat, which is the nothingness, to bring you into the other dimension. Drum gives you the ability to hear the nothingness, the spaces in between the beat. And it is the spaces in between the beat is what you hear. The gods are responding to the spaces in between the beat because it opens up a doorway that they can come through based on the drum or the bass, which is still percussion. It is the spaces in between the beat which gives you the other dimension coming through. You see? So clearly, our classical music of the 20th century is the most healing form that crackers all over the earth is benefiting from now. But we got Puff Daddy. You see, and DMX and Juvenile and all these idiots. You see what I'm saying? You even got Lil Bow Wow for the little children. You see, this thing is off the hook.